challenge him to single combat.
A new day is dawning. New ideas, new rules, new management.
John Wick, Chapter 4 has been out for a while now and it's been doing incredibly well at the box office. The reviews are great, people love it, and it has already become one of the most talked about movies of the year. While the film has received a lot of praise, there's one aspect of it that has sparked a lot of debate among fans: the ending. The film's final scene leaves the fate of John Wick, the titular character played by Keanu Reeves, open-ended. In the scene, John Wick is seen on a flight of steps, wounded and exhausted. He thinks about his wife, and then he collapses. The shot is very wide, so we don't get a close-up of the light leaving his eyes or his face going still. Then we dissolve to a graveyard where Lawrence Fishburne and Ian McShane are looking at John Wick's grave. The Bowery King asks the manager, "Where do you think he is, heaven or hell?" The manager says, "Who knows," and the Bowery King laughs. His dog sort of looks over at something, which has led many fans to speculate that John Wick might still be alive. There are several pieces of evidence that point to the possibility that John Wick is alive. First, his wounds aren't in lethal areas, so it's possible that he survived them. Second, the fact that we don't get a close-up of him dying leaves room for interpretation. Third, the strange dialogue at the graveyard, where the manager's response is vague and the Bowery King's laugh is enigmatic. And finally, the dog looking off somewhere in the wide shot could mean absolutely nothing, but it has still caught fans' attention. There's also an after-credit scene featuring Donnie Yen and the daughter of the man he killed. She's approaching him, armed, so naturally, they're probably going to try to resolve that in some way. Or maybe they couldn't, and they could just be saying he might not ever see his daughter again because he's about to be killed. That would fit in with the storyline of our heroes in these John Wick movies. So many of them don't find happiness because they aren't really good people, they're kind of all murderers. So they get some sense of freedom or a semblance of peace, but they're not necessarily always going to get exactly what they want. On the other hand, there is also evidence that suggests John Wick is dead. The line of dialogue where he asks the manager to take him home is the most important evidence to suggest that John Wick is dead. He's essentially asking the manager to take his body home when he dies because he knows he's about to die. Otherwise, that feels very cheesy. Also, if you have not seen the anime Cowboy Bebop, I'm going to spoil the ending of it. Best anime ever, please do watch it. But the ending of John Wick, Chapter 4 was reminiscent of the ending of Cowboy Bebop, where the hero dies on the steps in a wide shot. There's been debate for years about whether or not Spike is dead, and people have talked about the shooting star at the end of the credits being Spike. As a story, it would be more satisfying if John Wick were dead. Not only did he find his freedom, but he also beat the high table at their own game. He used their rules against them, as Ian McShane said earlier in the movie. If you kill one of these guys, they'll just replace him. You have to kill them, but do it right. Meaning that there is no way he'd ever go up against the high table again. For more movie info and superhero news, subscribe to our channel.